All right, what's good, fellas? We just finished a kids game today, which means a bunch of middle schoolers and stuff. They're in summer camp. They come out to the game. We play an early game, so we got the rest of the day off. We got a new video dropping. This one, it's going to be going over an outing that happened a couple weeks ago. We played a really good offense with a good amount of left-handed hitters, which was nice for once. But let me know. I know mainly the videos have just been breaking down my outings. Let me know other stuff outside of it that y'all would want to see. That's just like the easiest, most simple stuff to do that I feel like is applicable to you guys as pitchers. You know, seeing how I think about stuff, why I throw pitches and sequences and stuff like that. But let me know any other type of stuff that you guys would want to see aside from that. We're going to do a little rundown on some numbers before I go over this outing. As you can see right here, we've been in zone quite a bit over the last couple weeks, which has been resulting in a great low walk percentage, which is exactly what we want. And our punch out rate hovering at the high 20s, which is also pretty good. One thing that we could definitely work on is we have a lot of opportunities to put guys away. Even more to have a higher strikeout rate. So just really executing those 2-strike pitches to the right zones with the right intent could be something that could push that K rate to like the mid-30s, which would be huge. All right, what's good, everybody? We're out here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, actually, right now. We're on another road trip, but today's video, I'm going to be breaking down my outing against West Michigan, the high affiliate for the Tigers. It was a pretty solid outing. There's definitely some interesting takeaways from it that I think you guys can apply to your game for sure. I'm going to break down a handful of the things that I go over after each outing, basically to address. And maybe you guys can take some of those into your game when you're kind of evaluating your performances. All right, so I come into the game. It's 1-1 in the 6th inning. And I'm facing Max Clark, actually, which is a higher touted prospect. I know he's got some like viral TikTok videos and stuff like that. But he's a lefty, so it's a good matchup for us. Base is empty, it's a clean inning. We go slider, sweeper there, just didn't bite. I think I started in the right spot. I just didn't move as much as my normal ones, so fall behind there. Heater kind of clips the top rail, just trying to get back in the count there. Then we go another sweeper, we get him to fly out, so great start to the inning. But still the feel for my sweeper was a little off at the beginning of this outing. So I wanted to make sure that I dialed it in because this team had a lot of lefties, so a lot of free outs for me if I can execute that. You see another one there that just doesn't fully get back to the zone. And then we throw, I think that was a cutter that just dipped below the zone, so not a great feel, 2-0 to lefties, but I'm trying to get back in the zone here. Miss with a heater up. 3-0, I'm just trying to get back in the zone here. And this was actually a full ball in the zone. You can see the hitter actually makes like a weird face about it. I think he knew it was a strike as well, but walk. Finally land the sweeper. It was still a shorter version of it, but that one felt a little bit better. Instant replay of some dude's home run the night before, but okay, here we go, we'll switch it. We got another sweeper, and it was my best one so far, and we get a swing and miss on it, which was huge. When he's swinging under it, that means he's quite a bit underplaying on the sweeper. My sweeper has carry, so I know that I can probably get him on a heater up or another sweeper. That one was a little uncompetitive, but it's still 1-2 here, so. This was huge. We picked the guy off here. Which is obviously a pitcher's best friend. Just it's up there with double plays. I just decided to mix in a move there. And see if I can show you the side angle. Looks like we don't have the side angle, but yeah, huge spot. Use your pickoff moves. I mean, in Pro Bowl we only get 2. But like not using them and having a guy steal a base is just really like, it's just like poor game management, in my opinion. That's something that I've focused on the last couple of years, especially like starting the second half of last year. and it's probably giving me like 2 innings worth of free outs without having to throw pitches, which is amazing. We go back with another slider, and he swings under it again. That one wasn't in a great spot, but when a hitter doesn't see a pitch well, it doesn't matter. Out for our second inning, we go cutter to start him off. He hits it pretty hard up the middle. Not a terrible result. It was going to be a first pitch strike. He hit a ground ball. Can't really be mad about that. Just want to get ahead of this guy. First pitch out, huge, well-executed sweeper there. Little weak contact pop-up, I'll always take that. Like I said, there's a lot of lefties in this lineup, which is something that is great for me, and we face a lot of teams that are righty heavy early. Well-executed cutter there for me. He didn't love it, which was interesting. I think he wanted to swing. Kind of an uncompetitive heater there. Want to get one back in zone here, 1-1. And that one just clips it. It's kind of a perfect pitch there. And they keep showing this AI of their coaching staff. We'll skip past that, go to a different angle. Probably could have went curveball here too for a strikeout, but decided to go heater. And it got in on him. I think it broke his bat, actually. And we get a little flare out there to right field. They can't get enough of the freaking AI action figures on the broadcast stream. Try to go cutter up and away again there, and it was just on the corner. Could have been a strike or a ball. And we go back to it, I believe, second pitch. Don't get either of them. They were like both 50-50 balls, so it's kind of frustrating. And then we just challenge heater, and he's on time. Rips a single, but no damage done yet, so. So 2 on, 2 out here. We start him off with it was a good sweeper, honestly. Tips off our shortstop's glove. It was ball hit, though. I think it was hit over 100. It was a ground ball. Could have went with a different pitch there. I mean, the guy's hitting 056. Probably could have just thrown a fastball. But, yeah, here's another angle of it. Tough play. We could have had the out at second. Can't quite see it, but so we end up giving up a run on 3 singles with no walks in an inning, which is pretty rare in this day of baseball. But this guy's first pitch swinging on the cutter, and we limit the damage. So, and I'm gonna go back out for a third here. We got a lot of lefties in this part of the order. First pitch cutter, and then so we're facing Clark again. That was actually in the zone, which we don't get. It's a 1-1, and then I just yank a heater there. That was a really frustrating pitch. That one pissed me off. And then we go, I think that was a cutter, and it was just uncompetitive. I was just trying to throw it right down the middle of this at bat, and I couldn't do it, which is the worst. And this one was just a tick below the zone, and he's like looking to walk, we've noticed, so that's super frustrating. Good sweeper there. That one was full ball in zone as well. So as you guys have noticed, if you've been watching the first couple outings, a lot of pitches in zone that I'm not getting, and very little pitches out of zone that I've been getting. So I'm actually excited because, I mean, that's going to even out. I'm just kind of running bad right now with balls and strikes, and I'm still pitching well. So I'm excited for when the script flips a little on that, and then I can pitch even better, hopefully. But that's definitely been a theme over the first couple outings. I've just had a handful of pitches in the zone, clipping the zone, that have all been called balls, and really none that I've been outside that have been called strikes. But again, that's part of being a good pitcher, is just letting that go and just moving on to the next pitch. We go cutter here. Luckily he expanded, because this would have been a tough spot to go 2-0 after walking the leadoff hitter. And this kind of flips the script of the at-bat. That was probably one of my best sweepers of the day. Great shape. I think it was 18 horizontal, 2 vert, and it's like right on the corner. It could have been called a strike. Can't really do much with it. So we get a little weak fly out. And we punched out this guy earlier, if you remember. Started him off with a heater at the top rail. That was my best fastball shape of the day. Glad we got the call because that could have been a ball. It was in the zone, but sweeper there, probably his biggest chance to do damage there. That one was a little shorter. And I remember in my head, one of my goals for the week was to throw a sweeper at least 82. And I'm absolutely ripping a sweeper here in my head. So here's one of the better ones of the day. It was a little shorter, but it was like 81.9, I think, or something. So it was like 9, 10 horizontal with like 8 vert, so it was interesting. Big spot here. This guy singled, hard hit ball up the middle against us last time. We get ahead with a heater up in a good spot. And paint a heater on the inside. It's a little bit off, but it was a competitive pitch. Uncompetitive sweeper there, frustrating. 2-1 count, leverage count for the hitter. If you notice, I'm kind of staying away from the cutter. That's the pitch that he hit in the first at bat. Hard. We get a heater past him 2-1 there. I'm like, let's do it again. And that one's in a little better spot. I get most of my whiffs up and away against righties. And that one was perfect. Take a look at it from the side angle. I really think he was thinking I was going to go soft there. That's probably what the report says. But we ended up beating him pretty handily with that heater. And it was in zone as well. So a sick way to finish the outing. Also competed at holding runners very well. Kept Max Clark on first base after being the leadoff walk without even attempting a steal in a 2-1 game. So happy with that, neutralizing the running game. Cedar Rapids for you guys, Sirens. So when I'm evaluating an outing, I go over a handful of things. I think it's like 3 to 4 things that are similar every time. And so I'll kind of talk you guys through that. One number that I like to use, there's a stat for it already. It's called called strike plus whiff percentage. So it's every taken strike and then every whiff you had in an outing divided by your number of pitches. So if you had 10 of those in a 30-pitch outing, 30%. 30% is pretty good. Anything above that is like elite normally. Like if you run like a 35, 40%er, that's like normally a dominant outing. The reason why I love this stat is it's kind of result independent. So it's a good stat that will give you a good indicator of your outing no matter what happened in the field. But I'd take it to another step actually, and I'm basically created one, and just it's in zone percentage, in zone taken percentage, or taken in zone, plus whiffs, because we have a database where I can see if the pitch is in zone or not. So like I said, a lot of these, like in this outing 3 or 4 times, the pitch was in zone and it was called a ball, so that would skew my CSW, the original stat, called strike plus whiff percentage. Taken in zone plus whiff percentage is much better because it actually gives you the value of those strikes that may have been called balls. Also, if you get a called strike and it's not in zone, that doesn't count for my taken in zone. So it's very unbiased, and I really like that one. And I think it's a lot better than called strike plus whiff percentage because now you have the umpire to worry about. So like later in the year when I have an outing where I'm getting pitches off maybe, and they're taken, but they're getting called strikes, that's not going to count to my taken in zone plus whiff percentage. But for this outing, it was about 33%, which is really solid. So I was happy with that.